Okay, so we're back for take four. And you know what? This screencast has actually been a really great example of how you're always constantly troubleshooting technology. That one little forum that I selected didn't have quite the dynamics I needed. Good thing I had another one that I'm going to use anyway, but it shows that I have to tweak it. This thing screencast continues doesn't have enough time that I need, so I have to take more than one take. But I'm just using it for now to get over it until I go back to one of the older screencast softwares that I use. But this is a good demonstration of what proficiency based learning is going to be, and learning 21st century skills is constantly troubleshooting technology. It is coming out so fast, and a lot of it's free, that it's not all reliable and it's not all good. But most importantly, certain pieces of software or certain apps will work better for you and for what you need it for and for your learning than it'll work for another student and his or her learning. So although it's been kind of frustrating and a little bit of a setback that you've seen me struggle through some of this technology, I really want you to take it to heart that this is what it's about. Because I know that when you guys run into a roadblock, when you're trying to turn in an assignment, it can be very frustrating. You can start building a lot of stress and anxiety because you're like, oh my God, I need to turn in this assignment, but the stupid internet won't let me. I'm not going to punish you for that. I'm not going to take off grades for that. The only way you'll get hurt from that is if you just quit and don't do it. But if you try to find workarounds, if you find alternate paths, if you troubleshoot it, problem solve it, or at the very least, just let me know that you're having trouble with it so I can help you, then you're learning. By problem solving, you're learning. If you run into a technical roadblock, a digital roadblock, and you try to figure out other ways to solve the situation, you're learning in that instance. And that is the reason why we're doing this. So getting back to the web page, the only the thing that I'm working on right now, I want to make sure that I clarify uh, this idea about rubrics, which are the requirements, the objectives, which are the activities that you'll have to complete, and the learning targets. So if I am to, let's see, zoom into this page so I can read these a little bit better. So I want to zoom in. So I'm going to control assign. Oh, it's not going to let me do it. So I probably need to go back to preview mode. So again, these are the objectives. This is what you will be doing in class and for homework that you will be showing through writing, through the forum posts, by identifying different pieces, different examples of injustice happening in the real world, and then posting that. You're showing me that you can identify social justice issues in the real world setting. Um, Also, tell me who's affected and how, what the impact is. If you do all these things, then you're meeting the proficiencies. If you're not doing those things, then you need to do them again, and we continue to practice until you meet the proficiency. If you don't do it the first time, it doesn't mean you fail. It just means you have to do it again. Um, so those are the objectives, and these are all different ways of assessing whether or not you reach the objective. The quiz, the worksheet, the forum. Here, when you guys are posting in these videos, you're really going to be showing me how much you understand about injustice. And that's how I'm going to measure whether or not you're proficient in meeting the objective. What the rubric does is the rubric is what measures the student performance and is what gives the objective a actual learning measurement. So in order for me to say that you meet the second objective, which is all the way up here, right here, describe injustice in depth and identify social justice issues in the real world. If I am to say that you meet these objectives, then what that means is in this rubric way down here, you are in the, sometimes it's going to take me to the top. That means you are in the 3 to 4 range of of the work here. So let's see if I can make this a little bit bigger so that we can see exactly what's going on. Make sure I don't cut off any letters that are important. And this is the kind of thing that happens all the time. It's what makes building websites such a pain. But yes, now I think I can read everything. So as you can see up here, we have the objective, highly proficient. That's like an A+. Proficient is a B. And that's what I'm asking students to reach in a pass or fail class. You should be getting a minimum of an 80, 85 type of grade in order for you to pass. A 2 is approaching proficiency. That means you're close, but not quite. And 1 is not proficient at all. Usually the only way a person will get a 1 is if they don't really do it. So if I zoom in here, I can, let's see, I can read these a little bit clearer. It's not going to let me do it. Let's see here. But anyway, here is the objective that, or the rubric requirement that meets up with the objective that I have earlier in the website, on the web page. And it says, identify and discuss concepts, theories, institutional or social structures, hierarchies, or or processes or paradigms that lead to and perpetuate inequity and injustice. So essentially what I'm asking you to do is exactly what you're doing in those video biolog posts. And if you do this, provide a developed and insightful analysis of relevant structures and or processes that lead to and perpetuate inequity and injustice for relevant groups, then you are proficient. I will be able to measure that by how much you type and how quality it is. It's not just quantity of typing, it's actual quality. So, but for most students, the more you include, the better chance you have of reaching that quality. So if you are doing a very good job, you're being very clear with your answers, you're addressing the questions and the directions specifically, and you're responding to students with substantial responses and thoughtful writing, you will be getting this. If you're kind of doing it, you will get this. Identifies and provides some analysis of relevant structures and or processes that lead to and perpetuate inequity and injustices for relevant groups. And so if you're doing a little bit less than this level here, you'll be meeting the standard just barely. Anything less than that means you're not meeting the standard. So if you're just logging on to the Biolog and just trying to get it done, watching it, typing one sentence for each response and getting off of it as quickly as possible, I can tell you you're not going to succeed. You're not going to be meeting these standards. And if you don't meet the standards, then you don't meet proficiency, which means you'll have to do it again. So this is the level or the grade or the requirement, if you will, by which you have to perform on those Biologs. That's what the rubric measures. This is another rubric. It measures use of technology. I'll get to that later. But again, everything that's highlighted is what we're focusing on in this unit. And down here are the actual learning targets. So it says right here, I can prepare for a class discussion and participate by referring to my findings during the discussion. So in order for you to meet this learning target and actually say that you can do this, then you'll have to have met the proficiency level based on the rubric when you're completing the objectives that we saw earlier on the webpage. So you have your learning targets that we're shooting for. You have your requirements that you have to meet right here, all spelled out, all laid out. And then you have the actual objectives that you have to accomplish right here. Hopefully that explanation makes it clear exactly what I'm looking for and what you're expected to do. It's all in the site. It's all there right in front of you. It's not going anywhere. You can refer to it whenever you need. You have access to it 24/7. So I know it may be a little bit confusing up front, but in the long run, I believe this is going to be a very helpful way in making sure that we all keep up. Have a great day.